Welcome everybody to Halo Forge. Here are some of the best prefabs you can download into your maps. First up, we have the Crash Sabre. This is one I might use in my map that I'm working on. I'll flash up a little sneak preview for you guys, but this is great on sand levels. As you can see, the Sabre is looking great out here in the sun. That paint job is looking great. It's got some sort of candy paint green on it. This thing is tricked out. I like that. It's got flame effects on the back as well. This thing is still burning. You can see the smoke rising and everything from the thrusters here. So we're going to do a full 360 walk around of the vehicle. There's even little sparks coming off of the vehicle. It looks so good. Halo Infinite was a great base, graphic wise, gameplay wise, and now we're just building some great things on top of it too with Forge mode. Now next up we have a flyable Sabre. We're going from a Crash Sabre to a flyable Sabre. That's right, you can actually fly this thing. The dude said it's very glitchy, but it wasn't glitching too bad. I just think I'm not too great of a Banshee pilot. As you can see, we have a Sabre attached to the head of a Banshee. So if you want to fly this thing, make sure you're not in test mode and make sure you go into play mode by placing a spawn point. As you see, I do that later. First, let's take a look at her. This Sabre is looking great. This is a gray one. I like that too. It's looking nice. And we got the Banshee under there. This thing's struggling to keep up this big old Sabre, but she's doing a decent job. Look at her here. So like I said before, you got to make sure you put in a spawn point and then go into play mode instead of test mode. Hop into that Banshee, and here we are taking off. Looks like we have lift off there, the Banshee. Now like I said, in multiplayer I don't come across a whole lot of Banshees flying around. I don't fly them too much, so I know some tricks here and there. As you can see, I'm pulling off some tricky maneuvers, but I'm not the best pilot, so I don't know if this is just hard to handle or if I'm just not that great of a pilot. You guys are gonna have to test drive her yourself. It's fun, man. When you see it from the top view, it really looks like you're flying the Sabre. Until you look up underneath, you can tell it's a Banshee, but the Banshee's got weaponry. You can fire the weapons and they don't hit the Sabre, so that's good. And this thing is fully functionable as a fighter aircraft. You gotta love that. I know I do. So I think we're gonna go ahead, before we go out of bounds, we're gonna try a landing here. We're gonna see if I can do this without blowing up, and I do make a decent landing. Now next up we have the Zipline Tower version 1. This is a vertical zip line. This thing is huge. This would be a great sniper position. It's got some decals on it. It's colorful. I like that too. They put a lot of detail into this. This is going to save you guys a lot of time when you're putting your maps together. All these little pipes and pieces and everything. That's some tedious work, and thank goodness for these prefab designers for making an easier job for these map creators. And hopefully this will get your ideas flowing, your creative juices flowing. I know I'm going to get flowing up the zip line here. Again, make sure you're in play mode. You can't test it out in test mode. In play mode, you can go right up on top here. Like I said, this is a great sniper position, and you can even get a little bit higher here. Now, the zip line, I couldn't get it to function the other way. I think it's only one way going up, but it's looking great. Now we have the Gray Medieval House 1. This is actually Gray Medieval House 4 here. There's a whole slew of medieval houses. So as you see later on, I put a few of them together, and you have a whole diverse town of houses. It's got smokestacks coming up from the chimney. I call this a prefab lab, this level I'm using here with the grass and everything. This looks just like a Skyrim level if you ask me. So if you want to get medieval on some asses out there, you can put these houses in. As you see there's a few of them. I think there's a total of 4. I haven't found the third one yet, but maybe you guys will see it out there. Next up we have the trench. This is a trench path for trenches. As you can see, there's some, it looks like some stone in the middle, but if you just lower it down enough, it'll blend right in with your terrain as well. Walk right through, and you got some sandbags here, little ledge and everything with some stonework on the outside. This is giving me some World War II, some real gritty military mil-sim vibes. I love that in the Halo universe, and you can really do a whole lot with this here. As you can see, I'm going to test her out. You get up on that ledge, and when you're standing up, it's the perfect height just to rest that gun up and get some shots off, as I did there. You can jump over, you can climb over if you want to. And I thought, you know, let's get some of these in a line, at least a couple of them here. As you can see, they connect very well, and you can just have a whole trench system going on. Now we have the city building numero uno, number one, in other words. So this is a great city scene. You can start building here with the city building. You got to knock on the door, test her out, see if anybody's home. We got some plants hanging on the windowsill. It's looking so real, and we're gonna do a little 360 here to see all the details on this city building, and we're gonna get up close and personal as well too. But first I want to get an overview 360 rotation of the prefab. Advertisements on the building. We got back doors. We got all kinds of things. There's a dumpster. We're gonna do some dumpster diving later. Look, we got electrical boxes. I mean, it's looking great. So detailed. These prefab designers are so talented. Throw this in your city map and it's gonna look great. We got some debris back here, some recyclable bins. We have a giant can of lemonade. Reminds me of a big old Miller beer can. I drink that High Life. You can get it for like $2.36 at 7-Eleven, 32 ounces or something like that. So they got that out here as well. And I like to see if any of this debris is destructible. There are some destructible items in Halo Infinite, but these seem to be pretty much static. That's cool. That don't make too much of a difference. It's detailed. You know, you got to test everything out here. And now another thing I like to test out is it climbable? Are these prefabs climbable? I want to see if maybe there's alternate routes that you can get around. And as you can see, I'm doing some parkour here. I almost made it all the way to the top. But so it's climbable, but I don't know, maybe you parkour masters can make it all the way to the top. But we have a armored truck now, truck with front mounted gear and everything, some armors. This thing's really beefed up here. They got the windows covered with metal and armor and everything. Look at it just glisten off the sun. This game is beautiful, and these prefabs are really, really beautiful as well. This thing's pretty big. This is a big old armored vehicle. This would be great for some cover out there in your maps, and you can't drive it, unfortunately. You can climb on top of it. It is climbable, passes the test there. Now let's get on to the next prefab. This is a FOB. If you don't know, that's a forward operating base. Now we got a vehicle in this one as well. Maybe we could add that vehicle from the last prefab in here to really flesh things out. But this is a cool little vehicle, a kind of like a pedestrian, a civilian vehicle rather. And let's do the walk around. This thing's looking great. It's got satellites on it. I talk about detail. There's a lot of detail on this we're going to get up close and personal with. But first, you know, this could be backed up to an interior here with that back wall. You got some sort of generator out here. It all makes sense. It all comes together really, really well. I like to test the tires as well. I know with the Warthogs you can bust the tires out and everything, but can't on that little dealie back there. But we got monitor screens. You always got to test those as well. Can you destruct the monitor screens? No, you can't, but they look great, built well, so that's good. Now we had some sort of vacuum. Now we got a some sort of cryogenic sleep chamber of some sort with an alien in it, with a Master Chief plushie or something. I mean, there's just so many cool little details in this prefab. Some plants and everything, can't destruct those. I know some of those can be destructible. Maybe if I'm in play mode, I don't know. A lot of this stuff stays static if you aren't in play mode. But anywho, it's looking great. Look at all the trash on the ground. Someone was really doing some work around here. You got a sandwich made. What was he doing? Guru meditation. This dude was really meditating out here. Looked like he had the munchies as well. We have a cool holographic table over here. Let's see what else we have here. This is looking great. I love it. Now over here we have, look at this wet floor sign. See, that can be moved. Okay, let's see if the bucket is glitching out a little bit on me. Let me see if I can make a bucket here with my grenade. No, I can't. But as you can see, there are some destructible or at least movable objects as well. I love that. Just adds to the realism. Now we have some sort of duffel bag flying off. That ain't good. Okay, tried to latch onto it there, but couldn't do it. You're just floating away, and we're gonna float on to the next prefab. This is the MD Lava Island MK1. So this is a great environmental piece. We have trees that are on fire. We got lava flowing like a lava marble waterfall. We got stones. This thing is huge. This would look great. This might fit in my level too. Maybe. Well, I got more of a deserty level. You know, I'm thinking about using this because it just looks so great. Check it out from the rear here. You can see things are just popping off. The little sparks and embers sparking up and smoke stacks and everything just smoldering. It looks like it's climbable from the back. I'm going to try to test her out from the front here once we get around to it. It really looks realistic with the lava effects. It catches these trees on fire, and look, you get up close, you got the heat waves going off, and just the little branches are flaming too. And look at the lighting effects in this game. The reflection from the lava really lights up that gun and everything. It looks so cool. So it's got a little tunnel here. Probably add on to that, make this like a cave. I'm just imagining playing this in multiplayer, coming out the cave. Here I come. This is gonna look cool, like an action movie. Slow that down maybe a little bit and just, I mean, really look cool out here. So now I'm gonna try to climb it here. I don't think I'm able to pull it off, but like I said, I'm not a master parkour player yet. I'm still getting my feet up under me, but I'm gonna try to get as high as I can here. Maybe latch onto a branch. I don't think it's gonna happen, but this is you know, great for a lava level. Maybe we can make a level the floor is lava or something where you can't touch the floor. Next up, we have a working UNSC base, a small base. Now this thing, it says a small base, but it's pretty big. It's bigger than the other FOB. This thing's got aircraft on it. It's got antennas, a little bit more height to it. It's got underneath crawl areas you can get up underneath. As you can see, there's the aircraft. Now in play mode, I think you can hop into it, but I couldn't get it to lift off. But you can definitely hop into it and shoot from the launch pad. I don't know what's going on, why I couldn't lift off in it, but anyway, look at the work done here. Just really big time Sabre. This would be great for team's base defensive position here, and it's got a couple of these around. I like that. You can really use that as some cover. There's another one over here to our left. I love these little defensive barricades, if you will. There's the aircraft. Like I said, I'm not in play mode, so I couldn't take off in that, but this thing's great, and it's got some verticality a little bit to it too. I'm gonna see, is it climbable? Let's do some parkour and really see where we can get to with this prefab. So I figure if I hop up and try to get up over onto that ledge from over here, I might be able to do it. A little trouble here. My parkour skills are getting better, and I'm moving right along and see, can I make it all the way to the tippy top? Yes, I can. Let's do a little celebratory teabag, and there you have it, guys. Those are 10 of some of the best prefabs I've seen so far in Halo Forge. Let me know which one was your favorite. If you guys got any suggestions to feature in another video, I'll check them out, and I'll keep searching high and low for the best prefabs, so you guys can really get to work on those Forge maps a little bit easier. Hopefully it's got your creative juices flowing. Till next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger, over and out.